I hate traffic lights. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the night or in the day, a traffic light at some point is going to turn red, forcing me to stop, halting my progress if I'm taking passengers across London. But is there a way of avoiding traffic lights?
Don't be a plonker.
No, it's impossible. But could we gamify it a little bit?
On the knowledge of London, to become a taxi driver, there are 22 London boroughs. So what if, for every London borough I successfully manage to travel to, I get a traffic light pass, a token, a credit that I can use for a traffic light anywhere else in London. The aim of the game? To get through all of the 22 listed London boroughs without my traffic light credits going below 0. Okay, let's set some rules and designations for this challenge. Firstly, what is a traffic light? Well, I'm not referring to pedestrian crossings or button operated crossings. The kind of traffic lights I'm referring to is if there's a major junction, in that one of those lights will inevitably be red. We're also not going to include temporary traffic lights. However, if they're replacing an actual set of lights that should be there, then yes, they will count in that instance. I have to be in the borough to get the traffic light pass, so have some kind of evidence that I'm actually within it. I can't just see the borough, I have to physically go over the borderline. No U-turns. Basically, everything has to be completed as a legal turnaround. So, left, left, left and right if I want to change direction. It must be a road, so private forecourts or private access where gates can close and stuff like that are not allowed. We're also not going to count timed restrictions. So if I encounter any of those during the challenge, well, we'll just kind of pick up from the rest of the route. It must be accessible in my taxi. As we're doing the challenge in my taxi, we're going to count certain roads and restrictions that are only available for taxis. Providing I do a legal turnaround, I can go and reuse roads that I have already used. And finally, a note on the scoring: if I go down to 0 traffic light passes and then I encounter a traffic light, I cannot go through it. I then have to find another traffic light pass somehow, or it's the end of the challenge. Let's get going.
I drive a Rolls Royce because it's good for my voice. Yeah, down there, that's where old Mr. Boland died. There's a little memorial to him down there, I believe. So we're here, we're in London Borough of Wandsworth, because you can see the different signages. Wandsworth signage is kind of similar to Westminster. It's like a white background. Hey! I mean, this is going to be absolutely crazy. You mean I can get across London without using traffic lights? Even finding roundabouts without traffic lights on is an absolute mission now. You know, things like Wandsworth Jar Atry, that just completely screwed up my idea of doing this. Wait until Sadiq Khan watches this video. He's going to put traffic lights everywhere. We've cut out a traffic light there at Putney Heath, where like the buses come from. But yeah, this is the thing, that this route works in theory, but theory doesn't really get you anywhere in life. It's the practical application, and that's why we're out doing it now. 20 mile an hour, everyone loves it. Right, that's a Wandsworth sign. I think when it becomes Merton, it becomes a greeny looking sign. That's the Merton sign, and if we do a left here, you will actually see on that road sign, says Merton. So we've got a lot of wiggling through Wandsworth to do, and they refer back to Wandsworth signs. What we're effectively doing right now is avoiding the train line on this row of terrace houses. That's why we've not got a right turn in anywhere. So this is the thing, you can't do stuff like this in like Hackney or Islington very easily. They're just all gone. You just have to stick to the main roads. That's why we need the traffic light pass, to save up traffic lights. School streets. Thanks, Wandsworth. Great. Well, that's fun, isn't it? I need that left, mate. Oh no, I could get the ones after it, actually. He's going to be there unloading for a while, I think. He's got a mattress or something. Wow, what a crap street. Imagine living down here. Yeah, my house is there, but I've got to park half a mile down the street. And then that neatly cuts out the traffic light. Nice. Oh my giddy aunt. Who designed these? Honestly, is it even worth having a van to deliver around here? Like, by the time you find a place to park and then go all the way back, you might as well have just done it on a moped or something. I didn't foresee this being a challenge, just getting down streets. That's the River Wandle, I think. which I didn't even know existed. It sounds like it's made up. The River Wandle, hence Wandsworth. It's super strange. I've not been through a traffic light yet. We've done about 5 miles. And according to my cabbies, mate, this becomes one way at a certain point. I'm not seeing anything to indicate that. Like right about here, it says one way.
We're doing pretty well wiggling around in the back streets of Wandsworth. One of the biggest challenges of this is ensuring that when I get to a junction, that I can turn the direction I want to turn. If I use one street over here, Geraldine Road, it won't allow the right turn into East Hill, it's forced left.
I am just trying to look ahead and see, but we need the right, we need to get to East Hill. Oh, for f***'s sake. Yeah, no right turn, so.
I use this road, Herndon, which gets my way onto East Hill. Here, we encounter the first traffic light of the challenge.
2 traffic light passes left.
This is a bridge that goes over Trinity Road. You'll often find that most traffic lights in London are going over some kind of bridge. The other options here could have been Wandsworth Circus, or you go further down the Trinity Road, but there's still traffic lights there. So it's just a case of finding the one that's going to do the least amount of damage following that traffic light.
Oh no, it's a rat run. Oh, rat runs. I hate when they use the word rat, because rat run sounds so derogatory, like you're up to no good. And it's like, no, it's relieving pressure off of the main roads. Because what this is going to do, this is going to cut us over St John's Road, which is pedestrianised, but you can access it at certain points. I mean, I can go left if I wanted to as a taxi, but I should be able to do this without the need for being a taxi. You can see cameras at the top there. So we go right and then left. And there's our left. And that brings us over into Lavender Sweep, which is a quite an iconic road. And we're going to use Kathleen. That just drops us around the back of... Is it a police station or a magistrate's court? Magistrate's court, that's it. Here we go. Right, that cuts out those lights. The corner of Latchmere. This will be something about to send to my grandkids. Yes, little Johnny, there was a time when we could use small roads in London, but they persecuted us for it. They called them rat runs. Traffic as far as the eye could see along the Latchmere Road. So we're just waiting for a right turn coming up in a minute. Eventually does it. Jimmy Griddle. That is not really a word I want to associate with food. Jimmy Griddle calf. We're still in Wandsworth, by the way.
What I'm thinking here is that we need to get ourselves over a bridge at some point. Bridges are probably one of the most costly parts of this challenge. Pretty much every river crossing in London, you will lose at least one traffic light.
I know what this is. It's a set of traffic lights. And what we're going to try and do is sort of wiggle through and minimise the amount of damage, because there's just so many lights around here because of the gyratories and junctions and stuff.
I'm thinking that the best setup we can do is to get ourselves over Battersea Bridge. We'll lose one here at Prince of Wales Drive, but working our way up Albert Bridge Road, we can wiggle ourselves up the middle portion here, using Petworth Street, Rosenell Road and Warfield Street, bringing us out onto Parkgate Road.
So I can't actually remember if this works, but I want Howie and Elko Street, which cuts round the back and brings us out onto Battersea Bridge Road. I'm fingers crossed that sort of still works. Pedestrian, orange.
And we can get onto Battersea Bridge itself.
And then right as we get halfway across, that's then the London Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. 2 traffic light passes.
Before we have to instantly lose it at the junction of Battersea Bridge and Cheney Walk.
Means I've got to kill one of my traffic light passes. Richmond, Merton, Wandsworth, Kensington Chelsea, it's number 4.
I'm feeling pretty safe once we get over into the Kensington and Chelsea area, because I know that I can get through a lot of Hammersmith and Fulham, hopefully without a traffic light.
Basically, this route is only allowed for Chelsea Harbour residents, permit holders, buses and Hackney carriages. As soon as we go under the Imperial Wharf Bridge is when you become Hammersmith and Fulham.
From here it's a dream, because Hammersmith and Fulham has really not been changed by LTNs whatsoever. It's so old school. You can literally just pick and choose your streets as you do. There is almost too many options here.
Althea Street. That does not look comfortable carrying a table like that. There we go. And again, crossing over roads like that is much easier than pulling out, historically. Oh, hello. What's that? No motor vehicles ahead, except buses, taxis, and permit holders. It's the no traffic lights challenge for taxis. Out on the Parsons Green, not New Kings Road, because there's set of lights there, which we don't want. this mini roundabout up here, this double mini roundabout, which I'm super curious to know how this ever came to be, because it is bloody awful. But it's that episode of Top Gear where I think they've got the like limousines, they're like doing chauffeuring around London, and like Clarkson's got that stupidly long limousine thing made out of a Fiat Panda, I think it was. We're going to lose a light going over the West Cromwell Road. Fingers crossed. You can't do a U-turn on Glidden. I think there's a few restrictions there, so we shall see. We want to get around the back of the Olympia. It's the only way of doing it without any traffic lights. Haha, no left turn. It's fine. I don't need the left turn. But Mr. Van Man's letting me go. And we're clear over there. Nice. Sick. Only done for London boroughs. No, it's 5. Look at this. I could have turned it into... It's just cool, isn't it? Under railway arches, it's always like car repairs and stuff, isn't it? The cool thing is with this part of Hammersmith and Fulham, it's all little mini roundabouts. So that is a touch, because mini roundabouts generally don't have traffic lights on them.
I'm thinking we can just edge our way into Hounslow. Remember, the idea of this challenge is not to go on a tour of the borough, it's just to get in the borough, get the pass, and move on to another borough of London.
Here we go. We're in Hounslow. Right, back over the roundabouts, and we're going to go over up Askew Road. When you see what I've got to do later on, we're not going to go over the Uxbridge Road or the Vale, because that would surrender a traffic light, and we don't really want to do that. I'm still seeing Hammersmith and Fulham wheelie bins, so we're firmly back into the borough of Hammersmith and Fulham, but that's not good. That is not good. Oh yes, come on. They're the lights we didn't want. See them? There's not a no right turn into First, so we go over into First Avenue. There's a Borough of Ealing wheelie bin, so unless people in the borough of Hammersmith and Fulham think it's a funny joke to have Ealing wheelie bins, never thought in my adult life I'd be looking at wheelie bins to establish what part of London I would be in. We've been quite close to 2 prisons today, I'll have you know. Wandsworth, we was quite near there when we were skirting off the Earlsfield Road, and of course Wormwood Scrubs up here, just off of Duquesne Road. Forward. And there we must surrender a traffic light token. A40 forward. Where boroughs are quite weird, because this is now Hammersmith and Fulham again. I want that one. Fitz Neil. Illegitimate son of Neil.
Up next, the London Borough of Brent. Now, to get into that, we need to get into High Street, Holsden. I know I'm going to be losing 1 light here, but I'm hoping there's a tiny little road that's going to skip a few more lights here.
No lights yet. Pedestrian. Was it just a pedestrian light? Oh, they're bagged over, that's why. There normally would be a light there. It's work. I think it's just going to chuck me around in a circle. I've got a full sense of hope there when the post office van, and that is a no through route. Oh no! Google Maps, you swine! That is outrageous. I don't know what I'm going to do, because trouble is if you come up here you're going to get another traffic light as I go around the corner. I was hoping that would cut out that traffic light. No, it's not. The left isn't pedestrian. Oh no, no, no.
The issue with this challenge is that because I have to map the entirety of London, it is effectively one giant piece of string. And if a traffic light appears in one area, it disrupts the whole flow of the rest of the route.
If I zoom in there, look, you can just see that little keep clear restriction bit, and that's generally it. You see where it narrows up there. That's not good, and I can't see any way of avoiding this light here. So I'm going to have to go through that traffic light. There is no other way. But I'm just checking the rest of my route as well, because there's a lot of errors in here.
Many more hours at the laptop, and I think I got the route to a point where it would be suitable to go again.
Oh no, screwed up already. Force left out and a no right turn into what I want to turn right into. This is what I mean about this challenge. As soon as you sort of like think you get it figured out, another curveball comes your way. So I can't turn right. Memory serves me correct. We'll just go all the way around and just come back on ourselves. Yeah, I'll just go in there, won't I? I don't need. everyone.
Now, from where I am, I'm hoping I can use a lot of the kind of suburby, like homely kind of areas, because there's not a lot of traffic lights in those, to get our way over to Camden and Westminster.
So a lot of these, when you look at them on a map, they're sort of so well planned out. They're just loads of straight runs. You just go straight through. No right, Monday to Friday, 7 to 10. Thankfully, it's after 10 o'clock. Ooh. Yeah, we are traversing very nicely here, actually. Albeit my suspension is loving this. Right, if we get ourselves into West End Lane, that 100% is Camden.
With many London boroughs, the boundary is actually separated by a single street. So, Kilburn High Road, on this western side here, will be Brent, and on the eastern side is Camden.
No, I'm not working today. West End Lane. Camden! Aha! Right, 2 lights then.
And because we're in this little corner of Camden, we're very close to getting to Westminster. So, let's get ourselves over there.
Oh, that was a massive pothole the other side of that bloody speed bump. We're definitely in the London Borough of Camden. There's potholes everywhere. Surprising it's stuck in that one. And the other difficulty as well is actually entering a borough but being able to get back out again. Still Camden signage here. Oh, that's not as easy as I thought it would be. Right, that's definitely a Westminster sign. Ah, but it's Camden on this side.
Here in Camden, the north side is within Camden, but the south side is in Westminster. So to really ensure I actually went into Westminster, I just do a quick loop.
Right, now I'm definitely in Westminster.
That gets us back up to 3 traffic light passes.
Thank you for visiting Westminster. Thank you, Westminster. It's been great. Even if I did just use you for a very brief period of time. Westminster, Camden. Westminster, Camden.
Australia. Now I'm in America. Australia. America.
I get it, Dad.
Oh, it's like being back in Wandsworth again.
For the next part of this challenge, I need to get ourselves over into the Harringey kind of area. So we're talking like the top of Hampstead Lane, Hampstead Heath, and we can go north and get ourselves in that kind of Muswell Hill area. But if I focus my efforts too much on going to Harringey, I might miss the London Borough of Barnet. I need to get north. So I've got a super crazy idea. Let's use the North Circular.
See, we're right up here, Kingsgate Road. So they're clearly local, they know how this works. Because it's one way, it's always fairly clear. Oh, cheers, bro. Sick. No restrictions, no banned right turns. Lovely, nice wide streets. Yeah, this is what we want. So basically, we run along this road. It's like St Paul's Avenue. Becomes Chapter Road, I believe, which runs around the back of Dollis Hill Station.
I make my way back through the London Borough of Brent, and unfortunately, I do have to hit a traffic light to get ourselves to the Neasden Junction.
Right, A406 East. I need to get over into that lane.
The cool thing about some of the old road layouts, like the North Circular, is that you can sometimes get onto them without using any traffic lights, because they still use big gyratories, big roundabouts.
Roundabouts are a rare thing in London now. They've all just been ripped out in favour of those like junctions.
Elephant Castle, Highbury Corner, they've all been changed into complicated road junctions. There's no roundabout element to them at all. So, this is going to be key.
Woohoo! Speedy!
Once I'm here, I'm feeling really good, because I know that Brent Cross, there's multiple roundabouts, to peel on and off there as well. It's going to be smooth sailing from here.
And there is Brent Cross. Oh my word, look at the traffic. Oh dear, oh dear. This might be a good time to introduce the sponsor of today's video.
So there's a lot of things I've incorporated to make this no traffic lights challenge possible, but one of them is Y-Food. If you've never come across Y-Food before, they are a complete meal replacement shake. I'm rocking one of their classic flavours, the classic Choco, and these literally taste like your favourite milkshake. They're available in a huge range of flavours, and not just in these ready-to-drink bottle forms, but also in powders and bars. So that makes them really suitable if you're out travelling, because of course you can't always take liquids like this if, say, you're going on a plane. Where Y-Food really works for me is having them scattered everywhere. So I'll take them to work in my bag, I'll keep a few in the boot, and also have a few in the fridge. Another one for me is coming home late on a Sunday evening. All the shops are shut, so to know I've got a couple of these sat in the fridge really helps me out. There's 500 calories inside of every one of these bottles, but quite importantly, a lot of protein. I'm always really hard pressed to find a decent amount of protein whenever I stop in London without paying through the nose for it.
And it gets even better because normally the discount with YFood is you get 10% off if you use my exclusive discount code, taxi-YouTube, or the link down below. But if you act quickly, that link or discount code will actually be 20% off if you use it on the 25th, 26th, or 27th of November. And then after that, it will go back to the normal 10%. So to get the maximum savings, I recommend using that discount code now or over this weekend. Get a huge range of flavours and you will not be disappointed with these. It's the reason why I've partnered with YFood for so long on this channel, because they have become such a big part of my life. Now, let's get back to the challenge.
We're getting there. We're nearly at the roundabout. It's an Ocado van that's broken down right at the end of the roundabout, so it's just, right, here we go.
So we lost one in Brent, but getting into Barnet and this Brent Cross area puts us up to 3 traffic light passes.
Next, Harringey. So we're going to come off at Wayside, cut through the back of Golders Green a little bit, and bosh. Oh, a bit of elevation here. Let's go. Here we go, Whitestone Pond. So we're most definitely at Camden by this point. Yeah, tallest point in London. Sick. Spaniards Road. I'm going to have to take the one beforehand, which is Winnington Road, and come out via Norris Lee.
Once we get through the Spaniards Road tollgate and onto Hampstead Lane, we've got to take the left here onto Winnington Road. If we go further, by the time we get to Bishop's Avenue, there's a traffic light there. Still within the London Borough of Barnet at this point, but within easy reaching of Harringey. I know if we can get ourselves onto Woodside Avenue, which is the road that joins Great North Road over to Muswell Hill Road, that will be our 4th traffic light pass.
There's a lot of golf courses plonked out here as well. But no, I'm going to do a left. And we'll make a right into, I think it's Gurney Drive. Welcome to Harringey. Highgate. We're in Harringey. Yes. We might actually be able to do this challenge, you know. Our next borough we're aiming for is Islington, and I'm hoping we get 5. We don't lose one on the way there with a bit of luck. New traffic feature ahead. That makes it sound really exciting, doesn't it?
Now within Harringey, I kind of know the Crouch End area, but I'm going to try a road that's hopefully going to skip out the Broadway at Crouch End.
All right, there we go. Wolseley Road, that's what we want.
Because, you know the drill, there's something there that I can't use.
This is actually quite effective, actually, for cutting out the high street. Why would I want to go down the high street? Like the Broadway, rather, as they call it up there. It's not a high street, it's a Broadway.
Bringing me out onto Crouch End Hill.
Yeah, I can see it. Ella Road, London Borough of Islington. 5, baby. 5.
Hackney apparently has a 70% LTN coverage within their borough. Now that was just something I pulled from the Evening Standard. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
I'll be taking Japan Crescent, because I believe that cuts out a set of traffic lights. Leads into Mount Pleasant.
For the next part of this, is working out how I'm going to navigate the whole general Finsbury Park area. This happens a lot, you know, within the knowledge, and when I'm out driving the cab, is if I'm driving somewhere, I've got to kind of mentally calculate, as the crow flies, what's going to be in my way.
What we're going to do is we're going to go around the top half of Finsbury Park. We're going to get onto the old elusive Harringey ladder.
So going north at Finsbury Park, we're going to work our way up Whiteman Road. Harringey ladder, so called because it looks like a ladder if you look at it on a map, is what we're going to use to get ourselves over to St Anne's Road. Now, annoyingly, I've looked at this every single way. We have to lose 2 traffic light passes instantly to get ourselves on the St Anne's Road.
That is a set of traffic lights, yeah, because you got one there, Salisbury Road, and then this for St Anne's Road is another light gone, 2. We want to try and get ourselves Hackney, and I'm not feeling too great about this because it actually sort of wiggles through like an industrial estate.
Sometimes these industrial areas will just kind of finish, like, for no apparent reason. There might be a gate or something there. So I'm really flying by the seat of my pants on this one.
You see what I mean? It just looks a bit, oh, I hope that barrier's not part of me. See what I mean? Like, Cabby's mate does not display that. Oh, that sucks. Fingers crossed that was just a slight error. Oh, I'm seeing a big sign up there with lots of different destinations on it. Now that is very good. Road ahead closed. Oh, now I do not want this. The way that there's sort of traffic flowing this way feels good. That's the other side of the barrier that we was at. So the barrier will be down there somewhere. I think this might be our way out.
And luckily, we make our way through and we can cross the Seven Sisters Road. But there's one final hurdle in our way that could potentially stop ourselves from getting into Hackney.
Stamford Hill Station. There's a restriction there, like if you look at it on cabbies, mate, it's like solid blue, and solid blue usually means like timed restriction or something like that. It's imperative. I need this. It's good to see that there's some vehicles going down this way. That says roadhead closed, but it looks like they've defunct the sign, you know, put it up against a lamppost. Oh, that has the van still going. This is very good. I can see the fence indicating the side of the railway line, like South Tottenham, Stamford Hill railway line. This has got to work. Diverted traffic to the right, yes. Yes. Nothing. Well, why would it be blue? Oh, that is a big relief. Oh, you know when you go on Google Maps and you can only find like street view imaging from like 2016 and you're like, oh God, a lot has changed since 2016. I think then we're in the borough of Hackney. We got over it once we crossed Seven Sisters Road, so give ourselves another pass. Now, it comes as no surprise that Hackney is going to be problematic.
We're kind of just north of the Stoke Newington area, and pre-pandemic this would have been a doddle. You could just make your way down to Stoke Newington Church Street, Albion Road, and away you go. You're firmly into Hackney. However, low traffic neighbourhoods again, we've got to kind of wiggle our way west a little bit and then kind of go around Stoke Newington, so to speak.
No through route, local access. That's just an advance warning of the sign, so it's fine.
A bit of wiggling on and off the Manor Road, and we can get ourselves on the green lanes.
No through route, local access, we know that.
Just losing one traffic light here, corner of Lordship Park and Green Lanes.
Let's get ourselves into Highbury Park. Oof, I feel like I can relax a bit now. That was quite a bit of a hectic area. Getting out of Hackney as soon as possible because there's restrictions at 3:15. So we've got half hour until they start. So there's one part of this I'm not looking forward to, and it's a mews off of Kingsland High Road. Down we go. Side of the train line, the overground. I've never driven it, so we're going to be exploring this together. Oh, that ain't a sign I want to see. What's it saying? Kingsbury Road closed at Railway Bridge. I don't think I'm using Kingsbury Bridge. I think I saw a cycle around the back of that. Yeah, I did, yeah. We was both looking out for each other. How about that? Dalston Hat Apartments down there. Restricted zone, that's relating to parking. This is pokey, isn't it?
This almost looks too good to be true. It's like it was obvious. Why was it not be blocked off?
There's a few other cars doing it. Oh well, we'll all get fines together, shall we? And basically I want that mews just opposite, just to make this super efficient. Yeah, look, it's like the common tactic round here. Oh my God, I hate Hackney. Like, passionately. Because it's just faff, like this, like the traffic for starters, the people. This geezer's having a little dance in front of me. Bikes everywhere. Look how lawless it is.
And from here we want to work our way into Birkbeck Mews so we can pick up Sandringham Road.
I think we're in with a chance. If we get right into Sandringham. Awesome, we're into Sandringham. He's got no regard for his suspension. No right into Dalston Lane. It's good, we don't need a right.
I think the best option is going to be the least obvious and the most brazen, which is to go through the junction here at Hackney Downs. From here, I want to get Clapton Square. Now, time of recording this, it was actually school holidays, and you see a school-restricted street here.
2:45 to 3:45. Well, I can't do it for another 45 minutes. He just did it. Is he a permit holder, though?
But I knew my luck if I took the left turn that I would probably get a ticket.
As I don't really fancy sitting and waiting around 40 minutes because we're rapidly losing light, I also don't fancy breaking the highway code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can physically drop my taxi in that location and then pick up the rest of the route. And it's one way out, even better. Turn left. Through we go.
What we're going to do here is we're going to try and wiggle our way over Clapton Road and we're going to get ourselves into Powerscroft Road. And I think from there, fingers crossed, we can get ourselves out to Homerton High Street without succumbing to all the traffic lights that are in the way from here.
Nearly cutting all the traffic lights down the road there. Fingers crossed. You never know what to expect in Hackney. Curveballs come out of nowhere.
Down Brooksbury's Walk, left Homerton High Street, and this is looking beautiful.
Here we go. This is where it gets a little bit weird.
Right into Kenworthy Road, no lights there of course. And yeah, just at this major junction of Wick Road, we have another traffic light to contend with, taking us down to 1.
Right, there's that one set of lights there. Straight onto the A12. Otherwise, we have to hit another set of traffic lights, and that'll be us down to 0. The issue is, most exits off of the A12 involve, you've guessed it, a traffic light. The things I'll do to avoid a traffic light. Very briefly, right now, this area is Newham, or like Newham. But we're going to be going into Waltham Forest in about 20 seconds. So there's 2 boroughs right there. This is Redbridge Roundabout. If I go through the roundabout, I've got to go through multiple sets of traffic lights. However, if I peel through this little slip road, I skip the traffic lights entirely. But there's only one problem with this. I then have to either go around the North Circular and try and come back on myself, or up the M11. And the only way I can get it to work is the M11. We're on the M11, baby. I'm avoiding traffic lights at all costs. Come on, Loughton. There's the crucial exit. And then over this one. And here we go, M11 South. There is only one slight difficulty of this plan. Where and how do I get myself back into London? Because if I come straight off at the Redbridge Roundabout, well, I've just lost the one light that I've kind of avoided. I'm going to go a bit further around the North Circular because I've got another idea up my sleeve, and it's called the A13. There's nothing more Essex than the A13. Slip roads, just peel on round, no traffic lights, but I've got to find a way of coming back into town.
Movers Lane, that involves traffic lights. Lodge Avenue, traffic lights. Goresbrook, traffic lights. Hornchurch Marshes, traffic lights. So I come off at Ferry Lane, right by Rainham. I think I'm in Essex at this point.
Don't think I'm in London anymore. And this is my exit I'm going to get here, Ferry Lane Industrial Estate. Just, I want a roundabout, a nice normal roundabout. One roundabout. This is working. Around another one. Yes. Welcome to London Riverside. I feel very far out of London. In we go. We're back on the A13. We're heading into London. I've not done a traffic light. This is outrageous. This is probably one of the most silliest things I've done on the channel. Even sillier than that time I went to Luxembourg to try and learn the knowledge of Luxembourg.
From here, I'm pretty certain it's a clear run, all the way back into London. But then disaster strikes. I'm slowing down. There's a traffic light on the A13.
No. No. That can't be possible. I did not know that was there. Oh, there's got to be a way around that.
I had not actually forecast this. This is Renwick Road, the junction of Ripple Road here of the A13, and there's a traffic light if you head back into town. As I'm unsure of how it's going to affect the rest of the journey, I have to call it a day once again.
I have no idea how I'm going to fix that. Because of where it sits against the River Thames, you literally have this to play with. There is like a little peel left here, but to get to that point, there's a traffic light which was here. I'm just going to have to suck it up, and I'm hoping that there's enough slack in this challenge that it's not going to make the whole thing crumble.
We're currently in the London Borough of Newham, and we've still got 6 more boroughs to go. We've currently only got 2 traffic light passes, and I need to get south of the water. I'm not too sure how this is going to work.
Right, 2. We'll get our next one as we cross over into Tower Hamlets. Crucial.
I'm going to use the Blackwall Tunnel. Now, as we cross over and before we hit this first set of lights, we actually do make our way into Tower Hamlets.
Right, here's a set of lights. We're in Tower Hamlets, but we instantly hit a set of lights. So we're just back to square one again. This is pedestrian, because that's give way. And I'm thinking this left into the Blackwall Tunnel, so in theory that's always green until that man in red shorts presses the button. But then this is most certainly down to 1 as we go through this one. right about now. The Black Wall Tunnel, check it out now. Let's get ourselves out of Greenwich and into Lewisham.
But once we're in Greenwich, it's finding the best way to get off of the Blackwall Tunnel southern approach and, you know, getting our way back into London so we can get more of these boroughs ticked off.
Right, Sun in the Sands coming up. Look at this, it's a roundabout without traffic lights. No way, as if they still exist in London. We want to be getting that way back into town, but for now, I want to get off here.
Run sort of parallel with Rochester Way, and we're going to get ourselves over into Blackheath. And there's a particular road, I think once we're on to Prince Charles Road, we're then within the London Borough of Lewisham.
I mean, this is a breeze round here, nice wide streets. And look, we're very much in the London Borough of Greenwich. The Royal Borough of Greenwich, oh, sorry. Driver's doing the same as me. This always reminds me of being at the seaside, I don't know why. Those big sort of open green spaces that you have like on top of like, you know, the promenade point. So yeah, Prince of Wales Road, and then we're going to go up Prince Charles Road. This is the splitting point of Greenwich and Lewisham. Like Lewisham's over that way. And SE13, that would be Lewisham, wouldn't it?
At this point, I hadn't forecast there's actually 3 sets of traffic lights to get ourselves over into Deptford. If I work my way up into Greenwich, I'm going to hit way too many traffic lights. So it's a case of kind of wiggling around the Deptford area. So I've got to lose one of the lights here somehow.
So I want Hyde Vale. Oh, thank you, Mr. Porsche man. Thank you. I like how agricultural these gates are. Look at them. You know, you go like Islington and places like that up north, it's like, big old gate, like, nothing's getting through here.
We're trying to skip the lights at Greenwich South Street. So luckily, by using these oldie-woldy roads, I can skip over.
And because I don't have my official route with me, I'm having to do a bit of this on the fly.
And the road I'm looking for is one called Edgerton Drive. It's all looking good on a map, but I'm not too sure if I can turn right out of it.
Egerton Drive? I can get a left or a right out of here. How about that? Oh, bro. Thank you. Now, there's nothing else I can do to avoid these upcoming impending lights of doom. That's pedestrian. We lose one here. That one's pedestrian. That one's also pedestrian.
And then the last one, that takes us down to 1.
Right, the challenging bit now is Deptford High Street.
Possibly the crudest part of the entire challenge.
Okay, left, Reginald Road.
There's always a market like on Deptford High Street. It's got a big blue section, sort of indicating there's a time restriction there. Could be the market, could be one other reason. But it's a tiny, tiny street there called Comet Street.
Now, I can't even read that.
These signs don't really fill me with a lot of confidence.
Except buses and what? Is that sign even working? I mean, it's so decrepit. The gate's open. Let me have a little scout.
I can't actually make head or tail of what this sign actually says.
I mean, I can't even read that signage. This challenge ain't getting done otherwise. So, here we go. There's the camera that's going to give me a fine. Hello, mate. That's what we need. This little tiny Comet Street, which is actually a two-way. That is literally what this all hinges upon. Look at it. It reminds me of that spin in Islington. Can't remember what, but it's off of Balls Pond Road. And do I go right there or do I go left? There's a box junction there. Okay. Well, we'll have to see what comes in the post, I guess. Now I'm feeling good at this point.
We're still within the London Borough of Lewisham, but we're approaching Southwark.
I love some of these streets around here when there's like no parking restrictions. It's just like, yeah, let's just stick a London's fixed cyclist coffee bar inside of a caravan. I've never noticed that in Lewisham. Solid metal bollards that just say LBL on them, presumably London Borough of Lewisham. They look disgusting. Right, we're going to carry on Rotherhithe New Road. Don't want Rotherhithe Old Road because that will give us a light. No. No, pedestrian. Okay, we're in London Borough of Southwark. We need to get to Lambeth and City of London, but just 2 traffic light passes. I'll be honest, with that blow on the A13, I don't know if it can be done.
Drummond Road, Clements Road. We're going to use these kind of back streets of Bermondsey to cut our way to freedom.
Until we get to Tower Bridge Road, then I will be a bit more confident. Under the railways.
We're almost tracing the Bermondsey Beer Mile, but there's not time to stop for that. There's only a couple of ways I can do this final part, and it's essentially damage control at this point.
Can't turn right at this junction here of Abbey Street and Tower Bridge Road, so I'm hoping this left into Purbrook will allow for the right out. Oh yes! Oh my word! This 100% is pedestrian. This is the taxi route. But yeah, the left turn's only available for taxis, buses and cycles. We need to get to Lambeth, at least, to get ourselves another traffic light pass. Basically, unless we're under the Oxo Tower, we're not in Lambeth.
Tooley Street and Bermondsey Street, we're down to 0 lights now, and we're still within the London Borough of Southwark. Therefore, we have to cross into Lambeth without using a traffic light for us to complete this challenge.
Hitting any traffic light right now will be the end of my challenge. Can't use those lights up there, so I have to take the right into Montague Close. Bricking it, quite honestly. This is London Bridge we're just passing under. Southwark Cathedral, so we're still very firmly within Southwark, where I bought that really expensive ciabatta parmesan truffle thing. It's all very good so far. This was actually used in Lockstock, the like the hideout where the drug den was, where they those hipstery blokes were growing cannabis and that. Yeah. And honestly, now I'm getting closer to my fate. I'm thinking this isn't possible. There's your Tate Modern. We're around the back of it now. And
using Great Guildford Street to get ourselves onto Southwark Street.
I don't think this is good. I think we're f***ed. There's a light. If you do Lavington Street, it chucks you back up Great Southwark Street. In fact, there's 2 lights. This one, followed by junction of Blackfriars Road.
Spitting distance of Lambeth.
I literally have just got to get to number 1 Blackfriars over there.
Like any 32-year-old man having a mild meltdown in the south of London, I phoned Dave. You know, Dave. The guy who knows everything about postcodes. Surely he's going to get me out of this situation.
Yeah, hello Tom, how you doing?
I'm in a spot above her. I'm hoping you can help.
Yeah, what's up, mate?
I'm doing this silly thing. I'm on Southwark Street outside the Mercure. I need to get over to Oxo Tower so I can get Lambeth, so I can get over Blackfriars Bridge. I can't use any traffic lights.
I can't think of any ways of avoiding them down there to get on that little journey you've got to do. You get your credits from the boroughs you've been through, don't you?
Yeah, but I've used all the like London ones, I think.
Yeah, but what about thinking further out? Didn't you go through, what would it be, Redbridge? Down there you'd have gone Redbridge, Barking and Dagenham. Have you given yourself credits for those 2? Because you must have just touched them as well. Yeah, they're London boroughs, but that'll give you another couple of credits, won't it?
I think that might be it, mate. I think that might be it. They're not on the knowledge though, are they?
No, but do they don't have to be for your task, do they?
Well, I guess I make up the rules, don't I? So.
Yeah, they're on the suburbs, mate.
Right, there we go. Done. Let's do it.
Good luck, Tom. It's amazing what you're doing.
Cheers, mate. Now that is genius.
And so, with an extra 2 traffic light passes, this could be my ticket to freedom.
He's not just a postcode genius, he's a London Borough genius. Look at that.
We lose 1 on the junction of Great Southwark Street and Southwark Street. We lose the 2nd at the junction of Blackfriars Road. We're back down to 0.
I want to see some Lambeth signage upper ground. That's still a Southwark sign. But I'm adamant I saw it on Lambeth's website. The Oxo Tower is theirs. I don't even know if I can get around here because of all this shit going on. I think I'm in Lambeth.
This is the weirdest boundary. I don't know where the boundary is. I can still see Southwark Street signs here, you know, by Bargehouse Street.
They're clearly Oxo Tower signs.
Here's the issue. I can see the London Borough of Lambeth. But if I go in there, I cannot get out because I'm not allowed to do a U-turn. Great rule that was, Tom. I have to use a traffic light to turn around to come back out, losing the pass that I need to get on the Blackfriars Bridge. I even went on the Love Lambeth website and they will firmly tell me that Oxo Tower is in Lambeth.
3 exhibitions at Oxo Tower. Why would Lambeth have Oxo Tower, but then the roads aren't in it?
After all of that work, I think it's not doable.
Did I cross into the London Borough of Lambeth? Well, I'll let you be the judge.
Thank you for watching. Please hit subscribe if you've enjoyed. See you on the next one.